It started with a single post, a few words, a few emojis, and suddenly the internet exploded. For days, fans had been talking nonstop about Wang and Bai Lu's mysterious midnight meeting, a meeting that left millions of people wondering what really happened in the dark that night. But no one expected that Shen Yue, the quiet one, the calm one, would finally break her silence. What she said has changed everything. At first, it seemed like just another rumor. The photos, the blurred lights, the whispers of Dylan and Bai Lu being seen together after hours. Everything looked like a typical K-drama scandal. But when Shen Yue posted that cryptic message on her social account, one single caption, no names mentioned, it was enough to send shockwaves through every fandom across Asia and beyond. It read, "Some stories end in the dark before the world ever knows the truth." Within minutes, fans began connecting the dots. Could she be talking about Wang and Bai Lu's midnight encounter? Was this her way of admitting she knew something the rest of us didn't? Comment sections blew up. Is she hurt? Was she betrayed? Or is this just a coincidence? But here's where things got interesting, because what happened next was something no one saw coming. Just hours after Shen Yue's post went viral, Wang's fan page uploaded a new photo, a candid shot from behind the scenes of a recent project. And guess who was tagged? That's right, Bai Lu. The timing felt almost too perfect. Was it a random coincidence, or was Dylan subtly responding to Shen Yue's message? Insiders close to the stars began to talk. One source hinted that the so-called secret night wasn't about romance at all, that it might have been a private meeting related to work, a script reading, or an upcoming project. But other fans weren't buying it. Because if it really was just work, why did it have to happen after midnight, in a quiet street far from the city lights? For many, it felt like the perfect storm. Three of the most beloved faces in modern C-drama, now caught in a web of timing, emotion, and silence. But let's go back for a moment. Because to understand why Shen Yue's post hit so hard, we need to remember the bond these three once shared. Years ago, Wang and Shen Yue were the pair everyone rooted for, the on-screen chemistry that blurred into real life. They made millions believe in the fairy tale. Fans called them the golden duo. But when Bai Lu entered the picture, everything changed. Not because of rivalry, at least not at first, but because of timing, fate, and the unpredictable energy that surrounds people in the spotlight. According to one insider, Dylan and Bai Lu started spending more time together after a major brand campaign, developing a genuine connection built on shared ambition and quiet understanding. Meanwhile, Shen Yue had been focusing on new projects and avoiding the spotlight. So when the photos of Dylan and Bai Lu meeting at midnight surfaced, the internet didn't just see two friends talking. They saw a story reignited. And for Shen Yue, watching all of it unfold, that must have been painful. In one interview months ago, she once said, "Silence doesn't always mean peace. Sometimes it means you're learning to live with what can't be changed." Now, that quote feels like it was written for this moment. But here's where the plot thickens even more. Because while everyone was analyzing Shen Yue's cryptic message, a second post appeared, one that most people almost missed. A fan captured a screenshot before it was deleted. It showed a photo of a dimly lit street, a single streetlight glowing, and the caption, "Some things are clearer at night." Was Shen Yue sending a message? Was she confirming what everyone suspected? Or was she just playing along with the noise? Whatever her intention was, it worked. The entire K-drama community couldn't stop talking. Even major entertainment pages began reporting Shen Yue's emotional reaction to Wang and Bai Lu's secret meeting. And the longer she stayed silent afterward, the louder the world became. Meanwhile, Dylan and Bai Lu remained quiet. No interviews, no clarifications, no posts. Just silence. And that silence spoke volumes. Because sometimes, in the world of fame, not denying something is the same as admitting it. Fans notice subtle details too, like Dylan's playlist update with heartbreak songs and Bai Lu's sudden decision to unfollow a stylist rumored to be close to Shen Yue's circle. A coincidence? Maybe. But in a world where timing is everything, nothing feels accidental anymore. By the end of the week, Hashtags like hashtag Shen Yue speaks out, hashtag Dylan Wang Bai Lu night, and hashtag Kdrama Scandal 2025 were trending in the US, Philippines, and Korea simultaneously. Some fans defended Dylan, saying he was being unfairly judged. Others stood by Shen Yue, claiming she'd been quietly hurt for too long. And then there were those who supported Bai Lu, arguing she shouldn't be blamed for friendship blown out of proportion. 3 stars. 3 stories. One storm that refuses to calm down. But here's what made Shen Yue's speak out moment unforgettable. It wasn't loud. It wasn't angry. It was quiet, emotional, thought-provoking. She never mentioned names, never pointed fingers. Yet somehow, her words hit harder than any confession ever could. Because when you've loved deeply and lost silently, your silence becomes louder than a scream. And maybe that's what fans felt, that hidden pain behind her calm face. Now, as the dust slowly begins to settle, the question remains, was that midnight meeting truly innocent? Or was it the end of something beautiful we all thought would last forever? The truth? Maybe only the 3 of them know. But one thing is certain, this story is far from over. Because in the world of K-dramas, every ending is just the beginning of another twist. So stay tuned, because what Shen Yue just started with a single sentence might lead to the biggest revelation yet. And as the fans say, in K-drama land, silence is never just silence.